We come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
A first carry for the second-year man. It's Najee Harris up to the 20. Well, this defense for the Browns, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Now Cade York for the extra point.
It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here's Pickett. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On fourth down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt.
Back deep, Jakeem Grant. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And they'll have a short field to go as this drive starts on the fringe of the red zone at the 20. They'll start by running the option to the right. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's all.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns.
Austin Ekeler, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year.
And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here comes Grant on the return. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started.
They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best and don't worry about the rest of it.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. And now it's down to a 1-score game.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The Browns at 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On second down, Eckler.
And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He's got a man, complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They go back to the ground now with Eckler. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by York is up and good.
And it's now 21-7. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Harris going to get it again on second down.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Try him with Pickett here on third down. Complete to Austin here over the middle.
30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
This fielded right at the goal line.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Browns drive about to get started. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Watson on 1st down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. To try again after the sack. Watson. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 36. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Draw play. It's Eckler. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Got a man. It's Schwartz, complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. Here's Watson. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
Good call there on 1st down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown, Browns. David Njoku, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw complete to Freiermuth. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
Pickett now on first down. Here's Freiermuth again.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Pickett right back to the air again.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Well, I would guess that combined, if you spoke to both defenses, neither side has a lot to celebrate today. They haven't had a lot of stops, but that one right there, that's a big one because they stole points away with that play. And just as importantly, picked up a key stop on an offense that's been really impressive here in the early going.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Browns drive about to get started. They started on the ground with Eckler. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
41 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
6 yards there on the keeper. It's second down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 44, Watson.
Open man here, Schwartz, complete.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Anthony Schwartz.
His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Browns take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. He's got this to Pickens.
And now the rookie's free. And into the end zone. zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
George Pickens,
75 yards.
and the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taking it about the 1. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 15. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
That's Cameron Hayward who got in there to take him down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a give running left is Eckler. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
51 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for him.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, 1st down.
Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
And they visited the end zone frequently in this one, and obviously they wanted another one. But give credit to the defense there. They may not make the comeback, but pride showed. Good sack on that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Forced out to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Steps away to his left. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
York able to send this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So give them 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
1st and 10, here's Pickett.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. 3rd and long for Pickett. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line. They'll try the right side with Harris.
Myles Garrett, the all-pro, in on the tackle.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive Take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Working out of the gun, it's Pickett.
And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and this is back down to a 7-point game.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
This is the tight end, Njoku. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Watson to Njoku there for the Cleveland first.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Watson.
And this one too low.
Well, no surprise there. He was looking for one of his favorite targets again as soon as he left the pocket. But the coverage was good downfield. They got right to the receiver and helped prevent that completion.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This will be 3rd and 6.
Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
On 1st down, Watson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
A big play there on the catch and run, and it's going to yield a new set of downs. Now a 1st down carry for Harris, and he is going to lose yardage here. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Setting up the screen, Harris.
And some room to maneuver. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Pickett to throw on 1st down.
His throw caught right around the 6. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
George Pickens
with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter.
On the return from his end zone is Grant. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now Watson. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Boswell for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
To throw, Watson.
Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, It's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Pickett to throw.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. Looking to throw here, Pickett. He's got Johnson. And they will get the conversion on third down, but the clock, a more pressing factor.
That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now Pickett.
And this is going to be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Charles, you think back to halftime, they had the big lead. They were in control of this game. They lost that lead, but ultimately right now, with the ball in overtime, a chance to win this thing.
And you know each guy's telling his teammate, just let it go. Don't worry about it. We're starting fresh right here. What happened before does not matter. What happens right now and going forward, that's what matters. Let's find a way to win this game.
First throw in OT for Watson. On the screen, this is Eckler. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a third down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball, but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1.
I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
So third down coming up. And, Charles, I guess the question for me, where does 4 down territory begin possibly?
I guess for me it begins if you have 4th and 5 or less.
Oh, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. What a big-time interception that is here on the first drive of overtime. And now, Charles, they're already knocking on the door with a short field. Remember, all they need is 3 points to win this game.
And that thinking just can't limit them on offense. The playbook should still be wide open. Get a first down, maybe 2. Do it safely. Nice throws that your quarterback can make. Nice runs that your running backs like. But make sure you get yourself in position and let your kicker have at it.
Again, it's Harris on second down.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied.
Now we'll see what Pickett can do here in OT.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. There he goes right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses